baby. We are live.
All right. Woohoo! Hot Bar Comedy Tuesday night. I'm Wild Joe. Carol Newell got us up and running live at 9 on the dot Pacific, and we're gonna have fun tonight. So let's start it off with our theme song by the late and great GT. About wanting to get out there, get in the bars, and do some comedy, which is what we're doing now. Bars are opening. We're getting out there. All right.
Yeah.
Bad, nasty comedy. That's where it's at. So I was driving around today. My iTunes, oh God. Oh, baby has announced herself. Oh boy. They've got their own sense of humor coming out now. Butt. That's what they say, and then they laugh. They just say poo poo. They just start laughing. They think it's so funny.
Well, now I'm gonna have to rewrite my whole set.
Yeah, I mean, it starts early. The dirty punchline, and better not change your clothes in front of them because they get very excited and start grabbing inappropriately. It's a whole thing. Anyway, I used to have a lot of dirty jokes. I was listening to my car today, and I was like, wow, I gotta bring back those slut jokes. But I don't know. Anyway, let's get this butt thing out of here.
Butt.
Go away, butt. Go away.
Butt.
Oh my God.
That's
All right,
fucking hilarious.
I'm gonna go around. Let's talk to our comics. I saw it with Jon Deline, our former clown. I saw it was your birthday. You posted some pictures. It looked like you're having fun, and you were doing keg stands. What was going on there? I'm gonna mute myself while you answer.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, it was fun. My birthday's on May 8th. I call myself a maybe, which is a May baby. I always like referring to myself as that. But yeah, I went up to Oregon to camp out with some of my friends and got a keg of my absolute favorite beer called Viking Braggot, which is half beer, half mead. And yeah, just hung out in the woods. I tried camping in my car for the first time. I have a new car, and I used to have a Scion XB, one of those box cars that were really great for camping in. I took it across the country like 4 times camping in it. And this time I was in a Prius, and as much as it's trying to save an environment, it does not save the environment of camping for me, because I was chilled out. I had to sit in the front with the heater on. It was anyway. So that was that. That was my birthday. It was super fun though. I got more drunk than I have been in the last year, which is saying a lot because it's been the last year.
Well, you were doing a keg stand, and I admitted before the show to Mista See that I had a joke about doing a keg stand, going to a UCLA frat party and doing a keg stand. And it was a fictional joke. I've never done a keg stand in my life. Can you explain for people that are not so informed, what are the logistics of a keg stand?
the biggest things for me are, one, have friends that you really trust, because they're going to be holding you up there. Two, make sure you're doing it on a regular size keg. If you're doing it on anything smaller, like a 6-barrel, you don't want to have your hands too narrow. And the last thing is you want to try and stack your bones, because then you're not pushing with your muscles. You're just kind of like resting on your bones, which makes it a lot easier.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's like a yoga. It's like a yoga thing. And,
100%.
You're not like the tiniest. You're not the tiniest featherweight either. So yeah, you really got to trust your friends.
Absolutely. Well, and you got to make yourself think light as a feather. When I was in clown school and we had acrobatic classes, it was all about you got to have a crescent body and hold your core in and make yourself as light as a feather, because that'll make it easier. It wasn't easier, but I like it. I think it does.
There's that game, that slumber party game, light as a feather, stiff as a board, where you're supposed to be able to lift your friend with 2 fingers, and sometimes it works. Little kids are pretty light, but and they're pretty strong, to tell you the truth. But yeah.
They're
so
how strong they are.
I can't believe how strong my 2-year-old is. He's 25 pounds, and he can beat me up. So it's amazing. But anyway, so what else is going on with comedy? Have you been doing any shows, getting out in real life, or what are you up to?
I've been doing a lot of making comedy videos, and it has been kind of what I've been working on a lot. The last one I made was a fake ad for, it was basically, I can't believe it's not butter, but it was, I can't believe it's still quarantine was the name of the product. And I was dressed up as Fabio. I had the wig, but it was just, me, because I am not as in shape as Fabio is. I made it like I was a quarantine Fabio. One of my favorite things for that, I have a dumbbell set that I've been using.
That's funny. Quarantine Fabio.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
What happened to Fabio? I almost got set up on a date with Fabio. I don't know why it never went through, but there was this guy that was always setting me up on dates, and he was good friends with Fabio. And he said he was this great guy from a great family, and don't believe the whole image of him being like that, romance novel guy. But never happened. I missed my chance with that one. So maybe the quarantine Fabio will be in my future. So, well, that sounds like a lot of fun. Where can people find your videos?
They're on my YouTube page, which is Jon Deline, and also you can see a lot of them on my Instagram, which my handle is @MonsterStrong86.
All right, Monster Strong 86.
Yeah,
cool. I'm glad to have you back. Yeah.
Good to be back.
All righty. Let's see who else is in the house. We got Jenelle Van de Mortel. Am I saying that right?
Almost. Van de Mortel.
Oh, I missed a T. Jenelle Van de Mortel.
Nobody does it right. So it's Dutch. It's a lot of letters.
Dutch. Okay. And it's your first time on our show.
It is my first time on the show. And you guys, I am so excited because I'm a relatively new comedian. And I have been watching this show.
That's great.
For a while. So to be honest, it's super fun.
Thanks.
Well, I'm always booking constantly. And sometimes I book out 6 shows in advance. And then sometimes I'm like, oh no, it's next week. Where's the comics? It just kind of depends how many messages I send out. And so when sometimes I'm just at that point where I'm like, people are either commenting on the show that are watching it, or they just write me a message complimenting this show. And if I look and see we have lots of friends in common and they're a comic, I'll just say, hey, you want to do the show? So I guess that's what happened.
I'm thrilled to be here.
So welcome.
I'm thrilled to put my favorite dive bar in the background.
Where is that?
Hollywood.
What's it called?
The Frolic Room. It's
Frolic Room.
Yeah, it's been in Hollywood since the 1930s. It's been ages. I mean, ages since I have frolicked. But I just really like the idea of being in the Frolic Room in a dive bar with all of you guys tonight. This is just such a fun thing.
Yay! So since we don't know you, can you just give us a short background on where you're from and how you got into doing stand-up comedy?
Sure. I'm in Orange County, and I have my sister-in-law's sister is Paula Faust, who is a professional comedian. And I was listening to true crime podcasts, My Favorite Murder, and the gals were funny. And I just thought I would like some more comedy in my life. And so I took Paula out to lunch intending to just ask her about her comedy. And the conversation at the end of the day was, you're doing stand-up comedy. And she got me started, and then quarantine started like the next week.
Wow.
So, yeah, so I was writing from like March to September, and then September I started doing my first open mics. And then spent a lot of time. I've done hosting for Dat Fan, and then I did my first live shows. I did the Misfit Toys comedy tour in San Diego at the end of April, which was fabulous. I had my first drunk heckler. I was so excited. And I'm doing this show tonight for the first time. And on Thursday, Nishi Axel and I have a clubhouse show called All Made Up, where it's an improv comedy riff about makeup, but men are welcome. And June 5th, I'm hosting and performing at the Comedy Cafe in North Hollywood with Mary Bakay and Swan Weaver. And you guys, I am so grateful for comedy. I swear I was in a depression. You guys and comedy just have totally saved my life. And I just could not be happier to be here.
And you're getting in with the right people. Dat Fan is hilarious. You got Swan Weaver and Mary Bakay. We've had them on this show before. They're both great. And you're doing all the right things. So that's exciting. You finally get to be out there on a real stage.
Yes.
Like I said, I was listening to my old sets, and it's just wonderful hearing like a big audience and all the laughs when I was doing stuff at the Comedy Store a few years back. It's so much better when you have a big crowd. Laughter is contagious. So the bigger the crowd and the closer they're sitting together, the more they laugh, which unfortunately is no good with social distancing.
I'm looking forward to it. Yeah, people don't laugh on Zoom quite the same way they do in a comedy club. Yeah, and I always have to mute myself, and I know other people have distractions, dogs barking and TVs blaring or whatever, so sometimes that's a factor as well. And the other thing, which I mention almost every show, everybody's sitting down on Zoom. They're sitting at a desk behind their computer. I'm actually standing up. I always do my shows standing up because I just feel more comfortable doing stand-up standing up, and but yeah, it gives you a different vibe when you're just laid back, like sitting in front of your computer, than when you're up on stage in front of a real audience. So I'm glad you finally get out there and have that experience. So welcome to the show. All right. We have got, you know what? I don't want to move on without talking to Carol, who's always out there. She never skipped a beat. She was out in the parks, at the fountains, at the wharfs, and wherever she could find to do outdoor shows. And now she's finding indoor venues. How are the shows going, Carol Newell?
Good. I'm still doing outdoor stuff, but I am doing some indoor stuff. So it's been good. I did the Carpool Comedy last Saturday night.
And happy birthday to you yesterday, right?
Thank you. Yesterday was my actual birthday. Yep. And I did my Zoom show, which I moved from Sunday to Monday because so many people are busy doing actual comedy now that it's hard to get people on Sunday, including myself, because I host 2 shows on Sunday at the Comedy Chateau at 1:00 and then at the Haha at 4:00. So I'm doing that, and I'm doing some Sunday shows like I did the Lexington last week. So still doing the Roomy Cafe on Wednesday. I moved to from Griffith Park to NoHo Diner on Thursday, and then Saturday the park, still doing the park show, and then doing NoHo on Saturday night.
All right. Awesome. Well, there you have it.
Yeah, you have it.
I noticed you had, so your birthday show was fun. You had your main birthday show was your virtual show, The World's Best Laugh, that you had last night.
That was last night. It was a lot of fun.
And I saw Paul Green was on your show last night, right?
Well, he was scheduled for
No,
last
what
night.
happened to Paul?
Let's ask
He was
Well,
Paul.
this just got awkward.
awkward. Wait, what happened, Paul? How could you miss Carol's birthday?
So here's what
go?
happened. I booked my first commercial with my new agent, and
Ooh,
I was
awesome.
really excited about it. And so they called me to set yesterday at 8 a.m. I'm like, 8 a.m. call time. Psh, I'll be good. And then about 6 p.m., they hadn't called me to set yet, and there was no indication that they were going to be calling me anytime soon. So I wrote Carol and was like, oh no, I don't know if I'm going to make it. And then, yeah, they didn't call me to set till almost 7 o'clock.
Yeah.
And so I was wrapped
So what do you
well
call
after.
to set? I'm not a commercial actor. I don't really know how this works. Are you sitting at home getting
It's
ready
just
to get?
filming, guys. Here's a rule I have
So were
for
you
filming.
on the set, or you were sitting at home all day? What were
hear
you doing
me?
all day?
So I was at the filming location, and I was
Uh-huh.
just hanging out. It was at this office space that we were
day.
filming. So I
Uh-huh.
was there literally all day. I had like my computer and stuff so I could work, but I was just sitting there, and they were filming upstairs in the office room, like in this other part of the office. But they called me at 8 a.m. and then just had me sit there for, what is that, 10 hours? And then
Wow.
finally they were ready for my scene, and my scene was actually filmed in another part of the office. So then they had to reset all the equipment, all the lighting and stuff, and then called me to set. And then I was literally done within like an hour. But then it was on the west side, and I had to drive all the way back home.
Well, that's
So-
poor
Let me
planning.
chip
They
in on that.
should
Can I
have
chip in
staggered
for a
you guys
second?
little.
Can you
Go
hear
ahead,
me?
Mista See.
Can you hear me?
Yes, go
Okay,
ahead.
just checking. We do a lot of filming. Guys, if you're ever going to act, 80% of acting is waiting to fucking film. You only film for like 10 to 20% of the time, maybe even 5% of the time. So for those who don't know, your job is to sit around, eat some of that free fucking food, and wait, and you get paid to wait. And that's what acting is all about.
Mm-hmm.
That seems like
Yeah,
a
10-hour
logistical
wait
problem.
is. Well, yeah, I've been on much better managed film sets than that, to where they like know about when they're going to need me, and so they'll maybe get me there an hour or two before, so I have time to get makeup and prepped and all that stuff. Yeah, but they put makeup on me like at 9 a.m. and then I just sat there. But anyway, unfortunately, I missed
But it's a
Carol's
real
birthday
commercial.
show, which I was so excited to do. Was that?
It's a real commercial, though.
It's a
your
real
first
commercial.
Real commercial. Is it?
Not
can you
my
tell us
first.
what it's
My
for?
first with this agent.
Ah, okay. Can
But
you
I've
tell us
booked a
what
couple
it's
commercials
a commercial for? Is
No,
it
I
secret?
cannot. It's all hush hush, NDA, non-disclosure,
Ooh,
intense. But when it comes out, I will share it.
exciting.
Gotta
Good
do what
for
you gotta do. I totally get it. So I mean, if I had the choice between shooting a commercial and doing my birthday show, of course I would do my birthday show.
For your own birthday. It's different if it's somebody else's birthday.
No.
On June
I
28th,
get it.
Carol, for my birthday show, if you book a commercial, then I absolve you, and you can bail on my birthday show in favor of a commercial.
There you go. Good times.
All right, Paul. Good excuse. What else is going
Thank
on?
you.
Anything that sounds pretty exciting. You got new commercial agent. How'd you get this new agent?
Through comedy, actually. He did some stand-up at Flappers, and he's pretty well known in the stand-up comedy community. Like, he does Flappers and all, well, at least he did before old pandemic. And just a really good guy, and I feel very fortunate because I was just able to find him organically, and then he teamed up with a theatrical agent as well, so they signed me for both. So for like the first time in my life, I'm represented across the board by agents who I feel are actually like legitimate. The first agent I got when I moved to LA turned out to be a scam artist, so I kind of had those experiences, and then it's just. Then you try to do like the spamming thing where you're just sending your headshots out or sending email submissions and, to 100 agents, just hoping somebody will bite. And finally, I was just like, you want to know what? I'm just going to focus on stand-up, hone my craft, get as good as I can, and then just let whatever happens. And then I just randomly met Adam, and then found out he was an agent, and then he formed a new agency last year. So he left his old agency, so he was rebuilding his roster, and it all just fell into line. So
Great. Well, don't forget about us when you're big time. Sounds like you're going to get some big jobs coming
I
up.
will not forget about you, Janet.
Forget you. We're moving on.
What?
Okay.
What happened? What happened?
Okay, Curt Seablom. I haven't seen you in a long time. I think we did some live shows together. I don't know if you've been on our virtual show at all.
Yeah, I did it. Oh shoot, I don't know, a couple months ago, maybe 2 or 3 months ago.
A couple
Oh,
times.
okay. So you're back.
I'm easily forgettable. It happens.
I know you. I just,
I do miss the live shows.
How's it going now? Are you getting out in real life, or what have you been doing?
Yeah, so I'm in Boston right now. There was an outdoor mic I did on Sunday. And tomorrow, 6 a.m. Well, it's about 6 hours from now, I'll be on the train to Manhattan. I'm gonna hit some other places in New York City. Actually, tomorrow night I've got a show in Hoboken, New Jersey. So that'll be fun.
Working the East Coast. How are things there? How are the clubs?
Boston is still shut down. Not in Boston, but New York, it looks like it's. I don't know how much it's open in New York, but clubs are open there. But in Boston, it's still pretty closed down. I mean, there's outdoor mics, and that's about it.
I see.
In New England, like it looks like there's some shows in Rhode Island and some in New Hampshire, but I'm just staying around Boston, so
Yeah. My friend is coming back from the East Coast. She said she's just getting over COVID, and her and 6 of her family members caught COVID, and 2 of them were vaccinated already. So
wow, yeah, I'm fully vaccinated. April, I got my second shot, and when I flew here, I was like, oh, maybe it's still going to be some distancing. None. We are packed to the gills in that plane. I get in the subway. Wow. It's shoulder to shoulder in the subway. It's like, oh Jesus, But
well, we're banking on those vaccinations, and I'm banking on my natural immunity. I had COVID in December, but nobody really knows if this stuff works. So
hey. Yeah, I had it in January, and I don't want to go through it again.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like everyone else, just that fatigue of always masking and everything closed down, and just wonder how it's gonna feel, like what's still gonna be even alive. I mean, so many theaters are closed, like a lot of the improv theaters are closed down, and it's just I just don't know what it's gonna look like when all the dust is clear,
Yeah, and I feel sorry for the bars. I don't know how many of them will really have the money to open their doors again, or if they've actually gone out of business, especially the dive bars that were relying on just a few customers, patrons per night. They weren't that packed to start with. So, some of our venues probably will not reopen. But anyway, we're hoping at least some fun things will be opening up again soon. So
yeah, hopefully. Didn't mean to bring the room down.
It's okay. It's a big downer topic. It's been rough, but we're all surviving. And like Jenelle said, comedy is keeping us in better spirits and more connected. And I still love stand-up comedy, even when we're doing it through Zoom.
Yeah.
So, all right, Curt, thanks for coming on the show. Okay, we got Mario Tonti from a virtual comedy store patio. Hello. I drove past the comedy store the other day. They have people on the patio. They're open to fully vaccinated adults. Same with the improv. You have to show your proof of vaccination to get in. So how'd you get it all to yourself, Mario? What's going on here?
I told them I had COVID, so they all left. I said, hey guys, I don't have my card, I'm sick. And then they all just left, and now I'm here by myself.
Perfect.
Weird.
What's been going on, Mario?
Nothing. Not a lot. Just I'm still making edibles at this stupid job. I hate it. It was fun for a little bit, but like making edibles it's the same thing. I make gummies every day, so it gets repetitive. I went to Denver recently and I did some shows there. That was fun.
Cool.
Did some bar shows. I saw some friends, and I think that's where I caught COVID.
Oh, you caught it too.
Oh,
Yeah.
man.
I got the weak version though. I got a cold for like a day, and then I got fever for like 5 hours, and then that was it. I sat home and I watched Breaking Bad for a week, and
Oh my God, that's what I did during. I watched Breaking Bad. I'd never seen it before. I watched it while waiting to get COVID because I knew I'd been exposed. So I was already quarantining and during COVID. And it's probably not the best choice of TV show to watch when you have COVID, in my opinion. It was a little dark. I don't know. Maybe it matched the mood. What did you think? Breaking Bad during COVID, yay or nay?
it was a little tense. It was like, I think that's probably the third time I've watched it, and
Yeah.
like Walt's kind of an asshole. He wasn't. He lost me at the end there.
So that wasn't clear to you the first 2 times through. It took you 3 times through the whole series to discover that.
But then you start listening to him, and you're like, dude, just give it up. Like whenever Jesse's like, we're just trying to make money, right? And he's like, I'm in the empire business. It's like, dude, chill the fuck out. Like, you're not an empire. You're an old man. You're about to die. Like, relax.
Yeah, his character got kind of more hardcore and less likable as it went on. You're
like
right.
the last season like felt like a different show. Like it felt like a different, like, I don't know. It was.
But by then you're so invested, you got to keep watching, find out what happens. You're right.
Great. But yeah, that was fun. I'm going back to Austin in a couple weeks for some more shows there, so that'll be fun. That's it. I hosted Flashback on Wednesday and Saturday, so I've been hosting for the last few months, and that's about it.
All right. Well, it sounds like you're doing a lot. You're getting out there, you're traveling, and
Catching
making your
COVID.
mark. I think it looks like almost all of us have had COVID at this point. Carol had it. I had it. You guys had it.
That means I'm good.
Others are just waiting to catch it. All right.
Like,
never got it. Double vaxxed, baby.
Like,
ooh, wow, Paul.
You're right. That did sound a lot more arrogant than I intended.
I'm a double vaxxed. Yeah.
Double vaxxed.
That sounds dirty to me.
It sounds dirty. Sure
I've been double vaxxed.
I like to shoot twice.
Well, you have more antibodies if you had COVID and had 1 shot than anybody who didn't have COVID and had 2 shots.
Mm-hmm.
Carol knows it all.
Oh,
sounded like a recording.
Carol knows it all. All right. Let's see how our host with the most is doing. Our MC extraordinaire, Mista See. Anything going on? You got any updates or announcements?
Nah, just chilling, enjoying everything. Only stuff that's going on is next thing I have a video that just came out.
Oh my God, your music video came out. That's a big deal. You never talked about that.
Oh yeah. It's called Love Story, and just check out Mista See the Enforcer, MistaSee the Enforcer, and Love Story on my YouTube and my Instagram, Poppy Carlo. But yeah, it's a video that's got like the double song. Because if you remember back in the 90s, the rappers used to have videos where it would start with one song, and then in the middle of the song, it would like switch up in the video to a second song they had. So I wanted to do that with this, where I took 2 songs, where I actually had 2 full songs I mushed together to make 1 song for a video.
So it's a mashup. Cool. It's a mashup of your own song. Okay, as you're singing it, you go through like 4 different voices. Is that all you singing all the parts, or are you lip syncing somebody else's voice?
No, that's all me.
It sounds like so many different people singing, actually.
Well, I'm similar to the CeeLo. I'm a transformer. I have probably a multiple personality disorder, but I have certain characters. So on the song, I listed as Big Cruz, which is the uncle of Lil Yachty, which is the rapper guy. The person singing the hook, his name is Senor Strumpet. He's a very beautiful man, Senor Strumpet. He's a great singer, beautiful, classy man. And then the guy at the end that he's kind of scary. That's Methuselah. He's been here very long, and he's sick of your shit.
But they're all you. They're all
they're
you.
all me. It's just
You had
it's
like a high pitch you start off with, and then you had so many different voices, and then you put some names in the comments, and I go, is he just lip syncing or is that all him?
No, that's all me. That's all me. No
That's
effects
amazing.
or nothing like that. And whatnot. I got it's about 7 or 8 of these guys trapped inside of here and whatnot. But they're pretty much, I think it's just my past lives and whatnot, because I figure energy always created at the Big Bang. I've been here 1,000 times. I've been back 1,000 more. And these guys are just guys that were significant times that I was here. And they're really pissed and they're screaming at me through the darkness to make great music. So that's
and the other thing I loved about your video, well, two more things I loved about your video. One, I love that I don't know, you're at a park or a school. There's a lot of nature shots, and just it looks like where are you in LA, right? You're just around LA, sitting in different locations, and I like the scenery.
Yeah, it's downtown. It's West LA, and it's the West LA Park. Actually, Carolina Levi, one of our comedians,
that was the third thing I was gonna say.
The person in the video.
She plays a great. Her part is very short, like 10 seconds, but she plays your partner like perfectly. You guys have great chemistry.
Yeah, that's the funny thing. Once again, another filming thing. We actually recorded a bunch of stuff, but then the editor gets it, and he gets to like doing a bunch of coke and jerking off, and then he just picks what he wants. You know what I mean? But like literally, if he wanted to, he could have made that whole video just me and her together with me just rapping with a couple of me just showing up. So sometimes editing is a big deal. So if you ever see a shitty movie, you're like, damn, that was a terrible fucking movie. Let somebody else edit that movie, and you'll be like, yo, that movie was dope as shit. It's all in the editing.
That's true, because there's so much footage. They're basically just crafting, the pieces together to form whatever story they want. Even reality shows and that kind of thing, like they can tell whatever story they want with the amount of footage that they shoot. So yeah, well, good for you, Mista See. That's awesome. I enjoyed your video. I enjoyed seeing LA. I enjoyed hearing your different voices and seeing Carolina as your girlfriend. That was cute. So all right, everybody check that out. And then we had Curt is on the East Coast, so Curt volunteered to be first on our lineup. So let's get this show started.
Woohoo!
Yay.
Yeah.
All right, cool. All right, so great. So it's time to get into the Dive Bar Comedy Show. I'm Mista See Enforcer, aka Poppy Carlo, the bad boy, a Skidbags representative, also representing the streets as the Skidbag Street team is all over your city. So get ready for the Dive Bar Show, because we got 5 comedians coming to the stage. It's going to lay it down like the booty that comes out of your butt brown. If you're ready for the Diamond Show, I can make myself laugh. If you're ready for the Dive Bar Show, can I get a yeah?
Yeah.
So this first gentleman, he's actually back out east. He said he's out in Boston, aka Boston, Beantown. They got a motherfucking subway that goes in a circle, so they'll let you know the kind of brains that people you're dealing with in Boston. This poor man. That's why in another couple of days, he's going to run off to New York and also to the place where all comedians get famous, Hoboken, New Jersey. So everybody in Hoboken, get ready for a great show for this talent and be ready for this guy. Are you guys ready to get your bodies blasted by the beast from the east? Can I get a yeah?
Yeah.
That's right. So let me get a clap, 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 clap. And the guy is bad as a fuck, and the boys in the block call him Dirty Curt Seablom.
Hey, I had a coworker who used to call me Dirty Curdy. So I was like, oh man, yeah. So yeah, I grew up outside of Boston, and one of the things I realized, because I moved out to California in the 90s, and one of the things I realized was just how sheltered I was in Boston. Like I'm talking about sports. Like we had one baseball team with just the Red Sox. Everyone was a Sox fan. When you went to school, like instead of Pledge of Allegiance, you said Sweet Caroline. If you guys aren't aware, they sing Sweet Caroline at Fenway. Why? I don't know. Neil Diamond, baseball diamond. Maybe there was some kind of. We were taught that, and Yankees suck. That's what I know about the Red Sox. I don't know everything about sports. I'm actually a very bad sports fan. But that's what it was like growing up. And when I went to California, I was playing Trivial Pursuit with my niece, and this will just show you how bad I am at sports. She asked me, okay, who holds the NHL record for the most goals scored? And without even thinking, I said, Bobby Orr. And she said, Bobby who? I said, Bobby Orr. We got a statue of him in front of the Boston Garden. Why, who did you think it was? She turns the card over and she says, Wayne Gretzky. I said, Wayne who? I mean, I know not everyone's, like knows about all these athletes' names. Some are universal, right? Like everyone knows Michael Jordan. If you don't know Michael Jordan, he's the Larry Bird of basketball. So for context, that will give you some context. Yeah. But anyway, but yeah, there are some people that all of us and everyone in Boston knows as like they know their names. You don't have to know sports, like Bobby Orr for hockey, Larry Bird for basketball, or Tom Brady, 2 fists full of Super Bowl rings, landing that passenger jet on the Hudson, right? These are what we know as truths, and I know what you're thinking too. You mean that guy who looks like Matt Damon fucked Mark Wahlberg is from Boston? Yes, I am. Man, but so I'm in here now though, and I came back home to Boston, and I don't know about you guys, but every time I get back home here, actually almost anywhere I go, I don't want to look touristy, right? So I'll be walking around with my Red Sox hat, my old weathered one, my old Red Sox shirts or Patriots shirts, just so I mean, the only thing would try and make me look less touristy is if I walked around with like clam chowder in my hand and maybe a lobster on my shoulder. But I try not to look like a tourist, right? And I'm actually around Fenway Park, and saw a news person stood up or set up, and she was like, "Hey, do you have a couple seconds to talk about the mandatory mask mandate?" I was like, "Sure, why not? I got a finger on the pulse of Boston. Why wouldn't I know?" So I go up there and she's like, "Okay, Channel 4, can you give us your name?" I was like, "Yeah, Curt Seablom." Said, "Okay, where are you from?" "California." "Oh shit!" It's like, God. There goes being from Boston. Window, such an idiot. But I did catch a Red Sox game, which was nice and wicked expensive, because it's limited capacity, so a lot of the seats aren't available. So it was more expensive than I thought it was going to be. But I took my aunt to a game. I was like, she was going to buy the hotel. She paid for the hotel. I was like, I'll get the tickets for the game. And you don't have the best tickets when you're just keep on walking, and it's just that hike all the way up the stairs. It's like, holy crap, how far are we going? We're second to the last row on the top. I was like, shit, sitting there watching the game, and it starts filling in, and then I start seeing some other people coming up. And this is how petty I am, okay? They're walking, and I see they go past me to go behind me, like, jeez, you guys suck. Keep on walking. Don't even look over here. Better not even try to sneak down in these seats. And I'm still, I can barely see the game anyway. But that's just how petty I am. It's just, I don't know. I know it's not normal, but whatever, But something else that I'm not very proud to admit is at my age, I'm still scared of car washes. And it's not like I was ever trapped in one, nothing weird like that. But I get really panicky because of a couple things, okay? You get in a car wash and you say, don't touch the steering wheel, don't touch the brake. I have a record of having shitty cars, crappy cars. So, if it says don't touch the brake, I get the feeling if I step the brake, that conveyor belt's gonna tear off the undercarriage. So I'm already worried. And going in there and okay, fine, don't touch anything. Then you see the big soapy thing slap against the windshield. I wanted to pump the brake. But that's not the worst part. The worst part is when you're leaving, when you're getting out of it, you're driving out of it, and it's like, must go on green, you gotta go, and it's already green because of the car before you, and it's like, oh Jesus, oh Jesus, oh Jesus. And then it's like, that's red. It's like, okay, this is almost go time. And don't step on the brake, but how are you going to drop it in gear? Then all of a sudden, green, go, slam on the brake, put it in gear, and peel out of there. Single tear going down. Like, Jesus Christ, I hate car washes. And at my age, I should be well over this. Maybe I should just stop washing my car. No one would notice anyway. Piece of crap. Anyway, you guys, thank you for having me again, Dive Bar Comedy. You guys are awesome, and it's so fun to be back again. Much love from Boston.
Another round of applause for Curt Seablom. Well, I guess most of all, like Seablom. Curt Seablom.
I answered the phone.
Curt Seablom. My friend Curt Seablom. He got $1 for the cat. Something like that. And you say wicked a lot. Wicked. It's outstanding, and that's what I'm talking about. So did you guys enjoy that set? Can I get a yeah?
Yeah.
That's right. He jumped it off. That's right. We didn't want to keep Curt up too much because his muscles get tired when they up too late. He's got punching of strangers to do tomorrow. He's a tough guy. He's from Boston. This is what they do. It's not my fault. It's just a Boston thing. You know what I'm saying? He's got to like hang out with Ben Affleck and then the kick it with some guy named Rob Goldsteiner that loves the Patriots. It's a whole thing. It's a whole thing. Very rough night. So once again, another round of applause for Curt Seablom. Excellent. So we're going to go right to our next comedian. He's another family member. And me, as a person that moved to LA, my first trick to get my name out when I got to LA was hosting. And this gentleman recently mentioned that he was going to be hosting events soon. And I'm going to tell anybody that's new to a city, your best way to get into the underground comedy, music, or acting thing is if they have any kind of freestyle events, open mics, things like that. If you go to it and the person that runs the event is also hosting the event, go a couple of times to show your dedication. Then after a while, walk up to them at the end and say, hey, buddy, how about you let me host this? Don't even ask for money. They might offer you money, free shit, whatever. 100% of the times in LA, the person always said yes. It was up to a point when I was hosting 5-6 events a week. So everybody, if you want to get on in the new city, do that move right there, and that's game. And that's the Dive Bar Comedy Show. We got information. We build here. We're like we're like the non-politicians of comedy. We actually get shit done. So that's how that works. All right. So you guys ready for the next comedian? Can I get a yeah?
Yeah.
That's right. I'm gonna roll my blunt. And this next comedian comes to the stage. I like his name because he sounds like he's like Italian, but he looks like a Jewish guy. So this shit is real confusing and whatnot. But either way, you're gonna get some curly goodness and some beautiful talent. Are you guys ready for this right now? Can I get one more yeah?
Yeah.
Let me get a clap for my boys and the host, gang, Mr. Mario Tonti.
Oh, it's me already? Oh no, I was not prepared for this. Hello everyone. How are you guys doing?
Woo-woo.
Yay, one woo from Carol. Love it. I guess I'll try some jokey jokes on you. Is that how this works?
Yeah.
I went to, you guys like baseball? You guys sports fans?
Go
Like sports
yours.
people. I hate wearing like a Pittsburgh Pirates hat. Everybody always wants to talk to you about sports. I don't know anything about sports. And when I tell people I'm from Pittsburgh, that's when you find out that nobody knows the state of Pennsylvania because they're always like, oh, Philadelphia? It's like, no, the other side of the state.
8 hours.
Yeah, it's like it's not anywhere near Pittsburgh. We hate each other because of hockey, something like that. I don't know. But I did go to my first Dodgers game recently with a friend. It was a lot of fun. I had a good time. I give it 4 out of 5 gang-related neck tattoos. A lot of dead cousin memorials on the forearm, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I have some unused anal beads. So are they even anal beads? Because they haven't been in a butt, you know. I don't like telling people that I've done heroin before because they always ask the same question. They always say, "What does it feel like?" And then I have to pretend that it's not fucking awesome. Come on, it's heroin. It's great. You probably won't like this next one then. I wasn't molested as a kid, but I was an altar boy and a Boy Scout, so I should have been. I heard there's going to be a new non-binary version of Mortal Kombat. Before each fatality, it will say "finish they them." Thank you, Carol, and one guy. Whatever. Despite my face and voice, I am happy to be here, trying to make you guys laugh. I don't know if I'm depressed, but I did recently start rewatching The Sopranos for the therapy scenes. But therapy doesn't really work if you're just watching it on a TV show. It's like tickling yourself. You can't. Like, it doesn't. Like, there's this one scene where Tony Soprano, he's talking to his therapist, and he's like, you go to Italy, you lift some weights, you watch a movie. Like, what's the point? It's just a series of distractions until you die. And I'm just like, yes, that's how I feel. And the therapist, she's just like, I hear the depression talking. And I'm just like, finally, a diagnosis. 3 seasons in, and I'm just getting some answers. But yeah, the therapy and TV doesn't really work. So I tried taking one of those online depression quizzes just to see where I'm at, and those are bullshit too. They don't, like, apparently if you Google "do I have depression" at 3 a.m. on a Sunday, the answer is just yes. Like the results are always the same. Like, as long as you don't answer yes to the suicide questions, like, it doesn't care. It's just like, keep it moving. Like, you're fine. It's just called being awake. There's no depression anymore. It's just the whole world. We're all hanging on by a thread. Like, isn't every day Suicide Prevention Day now? Let's keep it sad, huh? The first girl I ever fell in love with, she catfished me. It was on the internet. I was 14 years old. We met in a chat room, and whatever we thought love was, we were 14. We didn't know. But like after 6 months or so, she told me that the pictures she was sending me weren't her, but they were pictures of a girl in her school that committed suicide by hanging herself. So I was in love with a dead girl for 6 months, so that was fun.
Wow.
Yeah, but like she catfished me before catfishing was even a term. Like, it was still just called lying. What else? I'm just gonna end on that sad note. Thanks, guys.
Yeah. Mario Tonti. That's right. In and out and clean. Drop the gun and walk away like nothing happened. That's how you get it down and whatnot. And I love what he talked about. Beautiful stuff. He had relationships. He had love. He had romance involved and whatnot. Chasing women, I think, is the curse of all great men. You're a great man, Mario.
Thanks, you too. Love the tie.
Thank you, kind sir. I do what I can. My grandmama bought it. So another round of applause, everybody, for Mario Tonti.
Thank you.
Yeah, all right. So we had a whole lot of pork and beans, aka dick and balls, up in here tonight, and we had to sandwich it right. So we put 2 guys on one end, 2 guys on the other end, and we put the lady in the middle because that makes the best video for porn. That's right. She's a true soldier. Beautiful thing about her, she's a longtime family member because she's been checking us out, cutting up. So I know she's going to tear it down. She's active in the game. She's new to it, and she's putting in a lot of work. So you got to get ready. I think she said she's even out in the OC. Is that correct?
Yes.
Oh my God. What is life like in the OC? Are you happy, or do you want to do comedy?
You guys are doing so much in LA. I got to get to where you guys are at.
Well, it's opening back up. We're about to be back in bars soon, so we'd love to see you in person.
I love that.
Excellent. Now, this lady, I like her name also as a soul brother of sorts. We have this drink we like called Martell. and her name's similar to that, but it's like if you want more Martel. So you guys ready to get more of what this tell got for you? Can I get a yeah?
Yeah.
Clap, 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 clap for Jenelle Van de Mortel.
Wow, that was an incredible introduction. Thank you so much. And thank you for saying my name right. Because you guys, Van de Mortel is exhausting. Yeah. And I have heard it all. I will pretty much answer to anything at this point. So my husband and I were out to dinner. Voldemort, party of two, your table is ready. Voldemort. Why not? Okay, sure. Voldemort, party of two, right here. How did you know? Was it the wand? Did the wand give it away? Expelliarmus. Oh my God. Crazy. But not as crazy as quarantine, right? Has the last year, you guys, just been insane?
Ugh.
Mhm.
And I'm sure you all have heard, stay home, stay safe. Yeah, what I discovered is I'm not safe at home for myself. Yeah, second day of quarantine, you guys, I broke a finger cleaning. Then I got vertigo. Who gets vertigo? And I even managed to pull a back muscle making a TikTok video. I was twerking. Yeah, I'm not safe at home. And if that wasn't bad enough, my husband decided to install a bidet, which would have been great, right? But what he actually installed from Amazon is a bidet accessory. You guys, this is a dial and a fire hose with a vendetta. It's effective. This thing will take barnacles off a boat. So now I'm not even safe in my own bathroom. I mean, it's crazy. And quarantine also, a lot of concerns. One, my husband, not a TV guy. Binge watching Ice Road Truckers.
Oh, Lord.
Now, you know you've been in quarantine too long when, or at least I knew, when I started to like watching it with him. Yeah. And, you know, our neighbors, we've had conversations for a year. People are bored. They are asking questions they normally would not ask. Am I right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So my neighbor last week asked, so Jenelle, have you ever been in jail? Me? Of course I've been in jail. Hasn't everybody been in jail for car registration?
Mm-hmm.
Just me? Just me. Okay, so you guys, in my defense, I was younger and putting myself through college, and I had to decide, you know, do I pay for the end of the year trip, or do I pay to change the color of that stupid little sticker that goes on the back of my car? So can you say, hola, Puerto Vallarta? And then a year later, I got pulled over and they threw the cuffs on me. Apparently, you guys, if you don't pay it, it goes to warrant. Yeah, so they took me to jail, threw me in the drunk tank. I was petrified. And did I tell you guys that I was also driving to ballet class? So I was in leotards and ballet slippers. Yeah. So when they asked me, Jenelle, why are you in jail? I said, why am I here? My dance partner dropped me. Yeah, that bastard dropped me. And you can bet there's one less swan dancing around the lake tonight. What's my name? You can call me by my prison name, the Nutcracker. Guys, I'm Jenelle Van de Mortel. Thank you so much.
Yeah, no, applause for Jenelle Van de Mortel. All right, yeah. I like it. And that's what I'm talking about. First time on the Dive Bar Comedy Show, and you can tell the connection is right there. Because similar to her husband, one of the hosts of this show, the creator of this show, her husband also used to sell bidet accessories. I have one in right now. And I'm gonna tell you one thing. If you know anything about this guy's sexual past, he didn't get it to clean his butt. You heard his kids. What's their favorite joke? Butt. I wonder where they got that from.
He's cleaning barnacles. I think that's what he's doing, is cleaning off the barnacles. And he told me he was always twerking on the bidet, which I never got to see. I don't know if I really would ever want to see that, but just the image. And it was high pressure. The kids, sometimes the toilet seat is open and they push that lever and it just shoots across the room to the bathroom wall on the other side. I mean, strong stuff. She described it perfectly.
Wow. That's what I'm talking about. In the COVID era, you got to keep your booty clean and satisfied. And so if you're having trouble with your relationship, maybe your husband's getting a little bored, get yourself a bidet accessory. That's right. Or use a washing machine or massage head in the shower. The dive bar show is educational. All right. So another round of applause for Jenelle Van de Mortel. I'm talking about. All right, so we got the inner and outer lips ready and moist to go. So we're going to slap a couple of dudes on top of it to finish this great sandwich at the Dive Bar Show. So this next gentleman coming to the stage is a smooth daddy. This guy is super multi-talented. He's a stand-up comedian. He's also a clown. He's also a motherfucking Superman in his free time. He's been around everywhere. He's a dude. I even think you're LGBTQ, are you not, Sir Jay? Mr. J. Deline?
Yes, I am.
He is LGBTQ. So the rule is here, pick a hole and we'll figure it out in the morning. That's what I'm talking about. So you guys ready to figure out which way we're going to go tonight? Can I get a yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah. Clack, 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 clack for Jon, the Don Deline.
What up, everybody? How's it going, Dive Bar Comedy? You having a good night so far?
Yeah.
Good, so am I. I just want to jump in on this bidet topic because it's very important to my own life. For every time I've ever done like big gay party weekends, bidets are so important. It's the only way you can wash off all the lube. I mean, first of all, when you start, just this because Dive Bar Comedy is educational, first you need to get an enema because you want to clear all that out. You know, you make sure that you're just dealing with a little empty hole for everybody. And then in between, you want to have a really nice bidet with that fire hose type power, both for pleasure and for function. That's how I like to live my life, both for pleasure and for function. That's going to be my campaign when I run for state treasurer or something like that. Because I know I'm not going to be governor. I've done too much shit in my life to get any high office in the land. Like, I used to, I was a drug dealer in college, but I only sold like LSD and other things. And there's lots of evidence of me doing lots of drugs out there, both on the internet and a lot of videos of me running naked through college, because I went to a college called UC Santa Cruz, go banana slugs. And one of the things that we would do every year is this thing called First Rain. Has any of you ever heard of that before?
No.
What that was, on the first big downpour of the year, people would meet at Porter College, which was the college that I was at, get fucking naked, and then run around the campus. So like 700 people, by the end of this, 700 people would end in the main quad by the bookstore, which was this just big open area near the quarry. And there would be like 700 naked people chanting in their running shoes, just like having a good time and dancing in the rain. So if you didn't know, UC Santa Cruz is a hippie school. But you know, one of the things, I moved to Oregon for a little bit a couple years ago. And one of the things about Oregon that I love is how everything in Oregon is a walking contradiction. because there's a lot of hippies in Oregon. Like I lived in Eugene, Oregon, and that's just full of hippies everywhere. But all of those hippies were gun rights activists, which is just like, what? This doesn't make sense. Save the trees and shoot them. Like, that is not a slogan I thought I'd ever hear in my life. But also there you have all these jocks who are like professional. They make their own dabs. They make their own pot extracts. So you have these like hardcore football guys who are like, yeah, man, I made this really cool sativa extract and you gotta try it, bro. It's just gonna get you fucked up. Yeah. Like, again. And then also I met a lot of gay cowboys in Oregon. But I guess really that's not a contradiction. That's just kind of how it is. At least if Brokeback Mountain told us anything. And for me, it told me a lot. Let's see. I'm gonna look at my notebook. This is a present my friend of mine got for me for my birthday. It's a new comedy notebook. That's a taco. I do love tacos.
Delicious.
Very, very much. But let's see. Where was I? Gay cowboys. That was the other one. I messed that joke up. It's fine. I was gonna make a joke about how racist Oregon is because it was supposed to be Grand Wizards of the KKK making the dabs, but it's fine. It's fine. That'll be another day. Just so people know, Oregon was founded by the KKK as a white nationalist state. That's something else that I learned living in Oregon, and I was just like, what? Yeah, they did not allow people of color to live in Oregon until the 1930s. Like, it is entrenched.
Wow.
I'm really surprised. So again, dive bar comedy, we're educational.
Wow.
But the other thing I wanted to educate you back, another kind of person I met in Oregon that I adore was bronies. Have you guys ever heard of bronies before? Love them. They're some of the sweetest people I ever met, but they're mostly adult men who are super big fans of My Little Pony. And hanging out with bronies, you realize that people who love My Little Pony are really not any different than people who love sports. Now, I'm going to lay this down for you. Oh, I got 1 minute. I got this. Okay. They both like to party together around with people who are also fans of it to talk about their favorite episode. Sports fans like to talk about their games. Bronies like to talk about what Rainbow Dash did last week. Both like to dress up, cosplay as their favorite characters, and go out and drink in bars. Same thing. Bronies like to dress up as unicorns. Jocks, people like sports, like to dress in the jerseys. And the last thing that I like is they both like to write their own fan fiction. Bronies make their own cartoons. People who like sports have their fantasy teams. And with that, just to leave you, they are the same. And I love them both. Thanks so much. I've been Jon Deline, and have a good night, y'all.
Yeah, another applause for Jon Deline.
There you go.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. That's right. So much education at his Dive Bar show. And he even took me back to a personal moment. My dad, his favorite thing he used to ask me is, hey, CJ, where your cronies at? What you and your cronies up to? I was like, what are we, robbing a bank?
Maybe.
The fuck? Like, I'm 10. Because, cronies, it isn't like where your homies at or where your boys is at. Cronies is like, it's not like the guys that move your equipment when you're a bandman. Your cronies is the dudes you do dirt with. The dudes that, like, when you're trying to like get some sex, they step in like, hey, well, remember that time in 8th grade when Sharisha flicked your titty? Pussy. Pussy. Why didn't you stab her to death? Pussy. Yeah, those are what we call friends, by the way. It's a good thing. And John knows all about it because he's all about his cronies getting into mad trouble. Another round of applause for Jon Deline. Crony gang, man. Crony gang.
Yeah.
Crony, you took me back. Yeah, about that. He used to always say, I'm a little insulted. I'm going to call his ass and cuss him out tomorrow. Because my friends are reputable men. And that doesn't say they're married, they have children, they have jobs. But when we were 10, we didn't know that yet. So the point is, as a parent, make sure you hate all your children's friends. Okay, that's right. That's good parenting. That's what I learned. Because the Dive Bar Show is educational. All right, so we got one more comedian coming to the stage. This gentleman is a ball of fire, so that's why we save him for the closer, because he's going to shut it down like people just going around. Are you guys ready for this next comedian that's going to let it go? Can I get a yeah?
Yeah.
All right. So this dude's a bad motherfucker. He's a cool dude, and he is versatile, just like my man that came before us. He switches anytime he wants. Maybe he's a top, maybe he's a bottom, maybe he's a middle. You never know, but this guy right here is clean some days and dirty on others. He's like the Bob Saget of this show. So get ready for the funniest man out here in the game. Can I get a clap, 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 clap for Mr. Clean Paul Green?
Yes, thank you. I have no idea how to live up to that introduction. But thank you. No, Bob Saget. That is a first. I have never been compared to Bob Saget. However, I do actually own a bidet, and it is amazing. I do not know why Americans do not use bidets. I can already see Carol falling asleep. Carol, I see it. I see what you're doing. And I understand. I bailed on your comedy show, and I deserve that. So what's the deal with poo-poo? Am I right? Poo-poo? Okay. I don't even have any jokes about poo-poo. I guess your kids are funnier than I, Wild Joe. It's kind of interesting. My doctor actually just diagnosed me with adult ADD, everybody. I couldn't believe it. So I was like, no, that's got to be wrong. And he's like, okay, sorry, it's wrong. Obviously, you have ADHD. So I got a little... I guess I got a little too hyper in my reaction to it. I did it, everybody. I made the huge mistake. I developed feelings for a lady friend. I know, it's dumb. But the other day we were driving, and she gave me a little hint how I might break out of the friend zone, because she told me she's only attracted to toxic men. And I'm like, well, I'm going to need some time then. Let me call my mom first and let her know that she won't be hearing from me for a while. He's like, no, Mom, you call me now. Yeah, that's right. Women come to me. And no, Mom, I do not care about how you feel. Okay, I am a toxic man. This woman, she started to tell me that she's got a lot of men who are simps in her life. I had never heard the term simp before. I was like, what is that? She goes, well, it's men who want to hook up with me but don't stand a chance, so I use them for favors. And I was like, wow, man, those men, they sound like, well, a lot like me, actually. Then I asked her, I'm like, wait a minute, am I just a simp to you? But she reassured me I am not one of her simps, so that made me feel better. So I just went ahead and dropped her off at her audition, waited in the parking lot for 20 minutes, and then gave her a ride back to Anaheim. The whole time I'm like, all those losers who are simps to this woman. Not me. Okay, I guess I'll keep going then. I am a single man. It's a good question. I don't know how I maintain my singleness with all of this heat that I'm packing. I mean, look at me. Right? Yet for somehow collectively the entire female gender looked at me and were like, no. That man's genes die with him. We are the safeguarders of the evolutionary process, and we have decided Paul dies, we're gonna go ahead and reproduce with Greg. So Greg's not the nicest guy, but he does have a lacrosse scholarship. So sorry, Paul. No more male pattern baldness and passive aggression are going to survive the human genome. But I actually, I did get dumped right before quarantine, so I had to spend it as a single man, which was tough. You know, this woman, when she broke up with me, she gave me a call. She's dumping me on the phone. And one thing she said was that she didn't feel like I respected her boundaries. That made me feel horrible. So I got off the phone and I drove to her house immediately to apologize. So I am a man. I own my mistakes, everybody. And when I got to her house, though, the first thing she said was like, "Paul, what are you doing? You need to stand 6 feet away and put on a mask," which was very confusing because this was 2 months before quarantine. And she goes, "Paul, I just can't handle you. I could never be with you. You're emotionally high maintenance." And so, of course, I started crying. And then and she goes, "Paul, it's over. I don't ever want to talk to you again." So I've been respecting her boundaries, everybody. I've only been talking to her mom. So you know, I did a fundraiser recently to raise money for all of the Asian hate crimes to help raise awareness and all that. And at the show, there was 20 Asian performers and me. And right underneath the surface, all of the comedians were pretty much saying everything that's wrong with the world is white man's fault. And you know, there's probably some truth to that. There's probably some truth. So this is my opportunity to just apologize for everything. I'm sorry I was not in any of the meetings. I was not in the boardroom with the whiteboard where they were, you know, making plans. And so I will say this. I know that a lot of atrocities have been committed against the Asian people by white, straight men like myself. However, that woman who dumped me last year was also Asian. So I say, let's just call it even, everybody. Let's just call it even, okay? Let's just reset everything, and let's just move forward from this point forward. All right, everybody. I am Paul Green. Thank you so much. Let's give it back to your host, Mista See.
Yeah, that's right. Another round of applause for Paul Green.
Yeah.
And that was our final comedian, the Dial Bar Comedy Show and whatnot, laying it down like a motherfucker, throwing heavy pounds and whatnot. And just like every Dial Bar show, he touched on some significant things in the process. Thing number one, I just found out that I'm a toxic male. I never call my mother, and she better fucking call me if I don't call her. I do that. I'm telling you, that's why I don't have a woman or wife, because I come from a family full of women, right? And all the men in my family are married. But the women, since we're rare, when I come around, it's like 30 women. And they're like, "Oh my God, CJ, Hercules. So when I meet a girl, if she's not like, Carl, he's our man, he can't do it, nobody can. I'm like, okay, this is not working. It's not working. You know what I mean? I'm sorry, but blame women. Don't blame me. They treated me like a god. It's not my fault. And whatnot. And another great thing he talked about was what's going on in the world today. He talked about the mother situation. He also talked about, oh my God, what was the other thing? Oh my God. Okay, I'm too drunk to remember the other thing. So let's forget it and just say, another round of applause for Paul Green. That's right. That's right. So we're going to close it out and whatnot. All the comedians, I'm going to go through the names in a little bit. I always do a little ditty at the end of the show. Tonight, I'm going to do something for the birthday girl. Now, luckily, we got Jenelle in here. We got Carol in here. We got Joe in here. We also have John in here. So they're going to enjoy what's about to happen. I just want to apologize to Mario, Curt, and Paul because it's ladies' night and it's somebody's birthday. So we're going to do my version of Marilyn Monroe's Happy Birthday for Carol.
Oh boy.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday birthday, dear Carol.
Uh-oh. Whoa. Uh-oh.
Ow,
To you, how old are you?
Leah.
How old are you?
Old AF.
How old are you with that best
Woo! Ow, ow!
Oh, Carol, it's your birthday to you. Yeah, that's the Dog Bar Comedy Show. And let's keep that thing going. Give it a clap, 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 clap for everybody that toured up tonight. Number 9 parts with Paul Green. John, Mr. Sexy Clown Deline. Jenelle Van de Mortel. We got the Papa Cherry tonight, guys. I know you love that. And we got Curt, the bad man, Seablom. All out in Beantown, knocking people out at the bar like a true thug. You know what I'm saying? And my man, Mr. Cool himself, Mario. He don't play like Mario Tonti. Well, Joe, tell us where we're gonna go. This is Dog Bar Comedy Show.
This was fun, educational, as we mentioned, and as expected with these comics, I have to title these shows every week, and I'm pretty sure Bidet is going to show up in the title.
No, call it butt.
Bidet, yeah.
Butt Bidet.
Yeah, no, my kids, not only do they love saying the word but they have this ritual before bedtime where they like to take off all their clothes and jump up and down on the bed, and they call it butt time. And it goes on for at least 30 minutes every single night before bed. But, you know, some people, there's a sex scene. I was watching a TV show, a sex scene came on, the people start ripping off their clothes. My little girl asked me, "What are they doing, Mom?" I said, "They're doing butt time." Mr. See is doing butt time right now, and Jon Deline doing some kind of Bustiers time. So that's a first for Dive Bar Comedy. It's Bidet Bustiers. Maybe that's the name of the show. Anyway, thank you to all of our comics. Thank you to all of you guys out in Facebook world who are watching on the live stream. If you didn't catch it there, check out our replays. We're at divebarcomedy.com or wherever. Search for Dive Bar Comedy on the iTunes or Android apps. And check us out every Tuesday. Check out our old episodes and go to some of our shows. And people are getting back out there doing shows all around the country. So please see our comics live now that the world is opening back up. Thank you guys. Have a great night. I'm Wild Joe.
Thank you.
Dive Bar Comedy.
So much fun, you guys. Thank you.
Bye, guys. Good night.
Yeah. Thank you guys for doing this.